Zuri Osei knew something was very, very wrong. Mommy had been making dinner, rice and stew, the kind that smelled like home and made Zuri's tummy happy. But then Mommy had grabbed the counter, said, "I'm just dizzy, baby," and collapsed. Now Mommy was lying on the kitchen floor, and she wouldn't wake up. Mommy. Zuri shook her mother's shoulder gently, the way Mommy woke her up for school. "Mommy, please wake up." Nothing. Zuri's 5-year-old brain knew what to do. Mommy had taught her. If there's an emergency and Mommy can't help, you call 119. Can you remember that number, baby? But Zuri's hands were shaking so badly she could barely hold Mommy's phone. The screen was too bright, the numbers too small, and she was crying too hard to see properly. She opened the phone. Mommy had set it so Zuri could access it in emergencies, and tried to find the phone app. Her small fingers accidentally pressed "Recent Calls" instead. The first number showed "Unknown 4 days ago." Zuri didn't know what that meant. She just knew Mommy had talked to someone. Maybe they could help. She pressed the number with trembling fingers. It rang twice. "Hello?" A man's voice, deep and professional. "Who is this? Please help." Zuri's voice was breaking with sobs. "My Mommy won't wake up. I tried and tried, but she won't open her eyes, and I don't know what to do, and I'm scared, and please, please, please come help." There was a pause, but not hesitation. Strategic assessment. "Slow down, sweetheart. Tell me your name." "Zuri. Zuri Osei. I'm 5 years old. My mommy is Maya, and she fell down and—" More sobbing. "Zuri, you're being so brave. I'm going to help your mommy, but I need you to answer some questions. Can you do that?" Yes. "Is your mommy breathing? Can you see her chest moving up and down?" Zuri looked. "Yes, she's breathing." "Good. That's very good. Is she bleeding anywhere? Any red on her clothes or on the floor?" "No, no blood. She just won't wake up." "Okay. Zuri, I'm coming to help your mommy right now, but I need to know where you are. Do you know your address?" Zuri recited it perfectly. Mommy had made her memorize it in case of emergencies. "Apartment 405, Building 7, Seongsudong." "Perfect. You're so smart, Zuri. I'm on my way right now. Stay on the phone with me, okay? Don't hang up. I want to hear your voice until I get there." "Who are you?" "My name is Siwon, and I'm very good at helping people. Your mommy is going to be okay. I promise." Choi Siwon was in his penthouse office reviewing quarterly reports for CharmCare Medical Group when he received the call from the number he'd accidentally dialed days ago. 4 days ago, he'd meant to call his secretary. Instead, he'd transposed 2 digits and reached a woman with a warm voice who'd politely told him he had the wrong number. They'd exchanged maybe 30 seconds of words. He'd apologized. She'd been kind. He'd forgotten about it immediately. Until now. The moment he heard the child's terrified voice, something dormant in him activated. He wasn't CEO Choi Siwon anymore. He was Dr. Choi Siwon, trauma surgeon, the man who'd spent a decade saving lives before grief had destroyed him. "Kang!" he shouted to his assistant while keeping the child on the line. "Trace this call. Get me the exact address, and alert the emergency medical team at CharmCare Central. Possible unconscious female adult, suspected collapse, unknown cause. Have them ready to receive a patient in 20 minutes. Sir, now." While his team worked, Siwon kept talking to Zuri, calming her, distracting her, assessing the situation through a 5-year-old's observations. "Zuri, has your mommy been sick lately?" "She's always tired. She says it's because she works too much. Sometimes she doesn't eat dinner because she says she's not hungry, but I think she's saving food for me." Malnutrition, overwork, single mother sacrificing her own health. "Does your mommy ever get dizzy and have to sit down?" "Yes, lots of times, but she says it's okay, just low blood pressure. She drinks water and feels better." "Chronic anemia, possibly. Maybe worse." "You're helping me so much, Zuri. Your mommy is lucky to have such a smart daughter." "Will she really be okay?" I promise. I'm in my car right now. I'll be there in 10 minutes. It took him 12 minutes. Seoul traffic didn't care about emergencies. Apartment 405, Building 7 was modest, the kind of place that housed people who worked hard but barely survived. Siwon knew these buildings, small, cheap, far from the affluent areas where his hospitals served wealthy clients. He pounded on the door. "Zuri, it's Siwon, open the door." Tiny footsteps. The door cracked open, revealing a little girl with big brown eyes, curly hair in 2 puffs, tear-stained face. She wore a kindergarten uniform, yellow dress, white tights. She looked at Siwon like he was a miracle. "You came," she whispered. "I promised." He knelt to her eye level. "Can you show me where Mommy is?" Zuri led him to the small kitchen. A woman lay on the floor, beautiful despite her pale, exhausted appearance. Dark skin, natural hair pulled into a practical ponytail, wearing teacher clothes. Unconscious but breathing steadily. Siwon's medical training took over. He checked her pulse, thready, weak. Checked her eyes, responsive to light but unfocused. Checked her extremities, cold, indicating poor circulation. Listened to her breathing, shallow but regular. "Zuri, I need you to get me a blanket. Your mommy is cold." While Zuri ran to get a blanket, Siwon called his medical team. Patient is a woman, late 20s, unconscious, likely syncope from malnutrition and anemia. Vitals are stable but concerning. I'm bringing her in personally. Have a full workup ready. CBC metabolic panel. Imaging if needed. His team knew better than to question why their CEO was personally responding to an emergency call. Zuri returned with a worn but clean blanket. Siwon covered her mother gently. "Zuri, I'm going to carry your mommy to my car and take her to my hospital. She needs doctors to help her feel better. Do you want to come with us?" "Yes, I can't leave Mommy." "You won't have to. Go get your shoes and a jacket, quick as you can." While Zuri scrambled to obey, Siwon carefully lifted Maya. She was too light, definitely malnourished. He could feel her ribs through her clothes. This woman had been starving herself to feed her daughter. Something painful and familiar twisted in his chest. Maya woke to the smell of antiseptic and the sound of beeping monitors. Her first thought, hospital, I can't afford a hospital. Her second thought, Zuri. Where's Zuri? She tried to sit up, but her body protested. An IV line tugged at her arm. Mommy! Zuri's voice. Relief flooded through her. Her daughter appeared beside the bed, climbing up to hug her carefully. You're awake. Mr. Superman said you'd wake up and you did. Mr. Superman. Maya's voice was raspy. The man I called. The one who saved you. Zuri pointed across the private hospital room. A man stood by the window, tall, expensively dressed in a suit that probably cost more than Maya's monthly rent. Handsome in that untouchable way wealthy people often were. He turned, and Maya saw concern mixed with something else in his eyes. Pain. Old, deep pain that recognized itself in others. Miss Osei, I'm Choi Siwon. Your daughter called my number by accident when you collapsed. I brought you to my hospital. Maya's brain was trying to process. Your hospital? I own CharmCare Medical Group. This is our flagship facility. He approached the bed carefully, maintaining professional distance. You've been unconscious for 4 hours. My doctors ran tests. You have severe anemia, malnutrition, dehydration, and exhaustion. When did you last eat a proper meal? Maya felt shame burn through her. I eat. I've been busy. You've been starving yourself so your daughter could eat. I saw your kitchen. 1 child-sized portion of rice. Nothing for you. That's none of your business. It became my business when your terrified 5-year-old called me crying because you wouldn't wake up. His voice was firm but not unkind. Ms. Osei, you collapsed from malnutrition. If Zuri hadn't called someone, anyone, you could have had a seizure, gone into shock, or worse. You're a single mother. What happens to Zuri if you die? The blunt words hit like a slap. Maya felt tears threatening. I'm doing my best. I work, I provide, I take care of her. By sacrificing your health? That's not providing. That's slow suicide. He softened slightly. I'm not judging. I'm stating medical facts. You need treatment, proper nutrition, rest. My team has prepared a care plan. I can't afford this hospital. I can barely afford rent. I need to leave. You're not paying anything. Excuse me? I'm covering your medical expenses, completely. Consider it payment for your daughter's bravery in calling for help. He glanced at Zuri, who was watching with wide, serious eyes. She saved your life by being smart and brave. That deserves acknowledgement. I don't accept charity. It's not charity, it's necessity. You have a daughter who needs you alive. Accept help so you can be there for her. He pulled a card from his pocket. This is my direct number. When you're released, which won't be for at least 3 days while you receive treatment, call me. We'll discuss how to prevent this from happening again. I don't need, yes, you do. And I'm offering because I can, and because your daughter's phone call reminded me that some things matter more than balance sheets and pride. Something vulnerable flickered across his face. Let me help, please. Maya wanted to argue, wanted to maintain her independence, her dignity. But Zuri was curled against her side, and the IV in her arm was pumping nutrients she desperately needed. And this stranger had quite literally saved her life. Why? She asked quietly. Why would a billionaire respond to an accidental phone call from a child? Siwon was quiet for a moment. Because 5 years ago, I was a doctor, a trauma surgeon. I saved lives. Then I lost someone and I stopped practicing, stopped helping people directly. Your daughter's call reminded me who I used to be. So maybe I'm not doing this entirely for you. Maybe I'm doing it for me too. Honesty. Raw, painful honesty. Maya looked at this complicated man, wealthy, hurting, trying to do something good with his pain. 3 days, she conceded. I'll stay for treatment, but then I'm going back to my life. I can't be your charity project. Fair enough. 3 days. He headed for the door, then paused. Zuri told me you're a kindergarten teacher, that you read to her every night, that you make her breakfast every morning even when you're exhausted, that you're the best mommy in the world. She said that? Repeatedly. While you were unconscious, she told me every wonderful thing about you. So Ms. Osei, do me a favor. Take care of yourself so that little girl doesn't lose another parent. She's already lost her father. She can't lose you too. He left before Maya could respond. Zuri looked up at her. I like Mr. Superman. He's nice, and he promised you'd be okay, and you are. Maya held her daughter close, feeling the weight of how close she'd come to leaving Zuri alone in the world. You were so brave, baby, calling for help, taking care of Mommy. I was really scared, but Mr. Superman came really fast, like a real superhero. Zuri's small hand gripped Maya's. Can he visit us again? I want to thank him properly, like you taught me. When someone helps, we say thank you. We'll see, baby. We'll see. But as Maya drifted back to sleep, monitored and cared for in a luxury hospital she could never afford, she wondered about the billionaire who'd responded to a child's desperate call, and why his eyes held the same grief she saw in her own mirror every morning. Would you have accepted help from a stranger, or insisted on leaving immediately? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you're already hooked on this story about an accidental call that changed 3 lives, hit subscribe and tell me what you think will happen during those 3 days. This is about to get emotional. Now let's continue. Over the next 3 days, Maya learned several things about Choi Siwon. First, he visited every morning at 7 a.m. before his workday started. Not as a CEO checking on charity work, but as a doctor reviewing her chart, asking detailed questions about symptoms, adjusting her treatment plan. Your iron levels are improving, he said on day 2, reading lab results, but you'll need supplements for at least 6 months. Also, your blood pressure is still low. When did you last see a doctor before this? 2 years ago. Annual checkup required by my work visa. 2 years. His jaw tightened. You've been ignoring symptoms for 2 years? I've been surviving for 2 years. There's a difference. He looked at her directly. Tell me about your husband. Zuri mentioned he passed away. Maya hesitated, then decided this man had earned some truth. Car accident, 3 years ago. Right before we were supposed to move to Seoul together. I came anyway because we'd already arranged everything. My job, the apartment, Zuri's school. Starting over in Ghana felt impossible. So I came here alone with a toddler and tried to build a life. That's incredibly brave. That's incredibly desperate. Brave would have been staying home with family support. I chose isolation because I couldn't face everyone's pity. She looked away. I'm not some inspiring single mother story. I'm just surviving day by day. Surviving counts, especially when you're doing it alone. Something in his tone made her look back. You said you lost someone. 5 years ago. My wife. Childbirth complications. She and our daughter both. His voice was carefully controlled. I was a trauma surgeon. I saved strangers every day. Couldn't save my own family. I'm so sorry. So am I. I stopped practicing medicine after that. Couldn't walk into an operating room without seeing her face, so I threw myself into running the family business instead. Easier to deal with spreadsheets than patients. He closed her chart. Your daughter reminds me of what my daughter might have been. 5 years old, smart, brave, loving her mother fiercely. Is that why you came? Because Zuri reminded you of your daughter? Partly. Also because I'm a doctor, and doctors respond to emergencies. It's instinct. He paused. But yes. Hearing a 5-year-old crying for help, terrified her mother was dying, I couldn't ignore that. Not when I know exactly what it's like to lose someone. Second, Siwon was surprisingly good with Zuri. He'd arrive with small gifts, coloring books, crayons, snacks from the hospital cafeteria. He'd sit with Zuri while Maya underwent tests, answering her endless questions with patience. Why is Mommy so tired all the time? Because she works very hard and forgets to take care of herself. That's why we're helping her remember. Will she get better? Yes. The medicine and food are making her stronger every day. Are you a doctor and a businessman? I used to be a doctor. Now I'm just a businessman. But I still remember doctor things. Like how to save mommies. Exactly like that. Maya watched these interactions from her hospital bed, seeing something soften in Siwon when he talked to Zuri, like he was practicing being someone he used to be. Thank you, Maya told him on day 3, for being kind to her. She's been anxious since her father died, afraid something will happen to me too. Having you explain things in a way she understands helps. She's a remarkable child. You've raised her well despite impossible circumstances. I'm trying. Most days I feel like I'm failing. You're not failing. You're exhausted, under-resourced, and overwhelmed. That's different from failing. He sat in the visitor chair. I have a proposal. Hear me out before you refuse. Maya tensed. What kind of proposal? I want to hire you as a consultant for my hospital group's pediatric outreach program. We've been trying to develop kindergarten partnerships, early health education, nutrition programs, parent resources. You're a kindergarten teacher. You understand what families need? I need someone with your expertise. You're inventing a job for me. I'm offering you a legitimate position that pays significantly more than kindergarten teaching, includes full health benefits, and allows flexible hours so you can still be present for Zuri. It's not charity. It's utilizing your skills for something I'm actually trying to develop. Why would you do this? Because you're barely surviving on a teacher's salary, and I have resources to change that. Because your daughter shouldn't worry about losing her mother to malnutrition. Because I can help, and I'm choosing to. He held out a folder. Contract details. Salary is 3 times your current income. Health insurance covers you and Zuri completely. Start date is flexible, whenever you're recovered. Maya opened the folder. The numbers were staggering. This is too much. It's market rate for consulting in medical program development. I'm not overpaying. I'm paying what the position is worth. He stood. Think about it. You're being discharged tomorrow. If you accept, we'll start paperwork next week. If you refuse, I'll still ensure you have proper follow-up care and nutrition resources. But Maya, he used her first name for the first time. Let me help. Not because you need charity, but because this is mutually beneficial. I get expertise I actually need. You get stability for your daughter. Everyone wins. After he left, Maya stared at the contract for an hour. Pride said refuse. Practical survival said accept. Zuri, coloring in her new coloring book, said, I like Mr. Superman. He's nice, and he makes you smile, Mommy. He makes me smile? You smile different when he's here. Happy smile, not tired smile. Out of the mouths of babes, Maya accepted the position. The first month was surreal. Her new office was in CharmCare's headquarters, modern, spacious, with resources she'd never had as a public school teacher. Her health improved dramatically with proper nutrition and medical care. Zuri thrived with the stability, and Siwon complicated things. He wasn't just her employer, he became a presence in their lives, checking on Maya's health, bringing Zuri small gifts, occasionally joining them for dinner at their apartment, which he'd insisted on upgrading to a safer building, claiming it was part of her relocation package. You're doing it again, Maya told him 6 weeks after starting the job. They were reviewing kindergarten partnership proposals in her office after hours. Doing what? Taking care of us, going beyond employer responsibilities. Why? Because I can. Because you and Zuri matter to me. Because... He stopped, jaw tight. Because helping you helps me. You make me feel useful in ways running a corporation never does. Is that selfish? It's honest. Maya studied him. But Siwon, we can't be your replacement family. We can't fill the space your wife and daughter left. I know that. His voice was rough. But I can still care about you, both of you. Is that allowed? I don't know. It's complicated. I'm good with complicated. Before Maya could respond, her phone rang. The kindergarten where she used to work. Maya, thank God. There's been an incident. One of your former students, Zuri's classmate Mina, her mother collapsed at pickup. Single mom. No emergency contacts. The child is hysterical. I know you don't work here anymore, but she's asking for you. Can you come? Maya looked at Siwon. I need to go. There's an emergency. I'll drive you. Tell me where. They arrived at the kindergarten to find a paramedic treating a Korean woman who'd fainted while a little girl cried inconsolably. Mina, Maya rushed over. Sweetie, it's Ms. Maya. I'm here. Mina grabbed her, sobbing. My mommy won't wake up, just like what happened to Zuri's mommy. Siwon was already with the paramedics, his doctor instincts engaged. What's her status? Similar to your wife's case last month, Dr. Choi, one paramedic said, recognizing him. Looks like exhaustion and malnutrition. Single mother, works 2 jobs. Classic overwork collapse. Take her to CharmCare Central. I'll cover the costs. Ensure she gets full workup and treatment. Siwon turned to Mina. Your mommy is going to be okay. We're taking her to the best hospital. Ms. Maya and I will stay with you. You're safe. At the hospital, Siwon arranged for Mina's mother to receive the same treatment Maya had gotten. When Mina's mother woke, confused and panicked about costs, Maya sat beside her. I know exactly what you're feeling. 2 months ago, I was in that same bed. Mr. Choi saved my life. Now he's saving yours. Let him help. For your daughter. Over the next week, Siwon did more than help one mother. He launched a program, Guardian Angel Initiative, providing free health care to single parents in financial crisis, connected to the kindergarten partnerships Maya was developing. You're using your resources to save people like me, Maya realized during a planning meeting. I'm using my resources to prevent what almost happened to you and Zuri. If I can stop one child from losing a parent to preventable poverty-related illness, it's worth every one. This is about your daughter, isn't it? Saving other children because you couldn't save yours? Maybe. Does that make it wrong? No, it makes it human. Maya reached across the table, squeezed his hand. You're a good man, Choi Siwon, even when you're hiding behind business justifications. He looked at their joined hands, something vulnerable crossing his face. Maya, I need to tell you something. Us, it's become more than just helping your family or running a program. I look forward to seeing you every day. I think about you constantly. Zuri calls me, and my day gets better. I know it's too soon. I know we're employer-employee. I know I'm your daughter's hero, and that complicates things. Siwon, but I'm falling for you, both of you, and I needed you to know before this goes any further. Maya's heart hammered. I can't be your second chance at the family you lost. You're not. You're your own people, your own story. I'm not trying to replace what I lost. I'm trying to build something new, if you'll let me. Before Maya could answer, her phone rang. Zuri's school. Ms. Osei, Zuri had an accident on the playground. She's okay, but she's asking for you, and for Mr. Superman. They both rushed to the school. Zuri had fallen from the monkey bars, minor scrapes, but she was crying and scared. The moment she saw Siwon, she reached for him. Mr. Superman, I fell and it hurt, and I was scared, and... He scooped her up carefully. Checking her injuries with practiced efficiency. You're very brave, Zuri. These scrapes will heal in a few days. Let's clean them up. He carried her to the nurse's office, talking to her the entire time, distracting her from pain. Maya watched him transform from CEO to doctor to father figure, handling Zuri with such natural care it made her chest ache. After Zuri was bandaged and calm, munching cookies the nurse provided, Siwon stepped outside with Maya. I meant what I said earlier. I'm falling for you both. But Maya, I need you to understand. I'm not trying to replace Daniel. I'm not trying to be Zuri's new father if you're not ready. I'm trying to be present, to help, to be part of your lives if you'll allow it. Maya looked through the window at Zuri, who was showing the nurse her bandages proudly. Her daughter who'd lost so much, who'd found safety in this complicated man. Zuri already loves you. She talks about you constantly. You're her hero. And you? How do you feel? Terrified, grateful, confused, falling for you despite every logical reason not to. She met his eyes. You saved my life, Siwon. You saved Zuri from losing her mother. You've given us stability we've never had. How do I separate gratitude from actual feelings? Time. We take time. We build something real, slowly. No pressure, no expectations. Just us. Finding out if this can be something beyond gratitude and trauma bonding. That's a terrifying proposition. I know, but I'm willing to try if you are. Maya looked at this man, wealthy, grieving, trying to build something good from his pain, trying to give them the security she'd been desperate for. Okay, she whispered. Let's try, slowly, carefully, for all three of us. He smiled, genuine, warm, the first truly happy expression she'd seen on him. Slowly, carefully, together. The next 3 months were a careful dance. Siwon would take them to dinner, always including Zuri, never pressuring for alone time. He'd attend Zuri's school events, sitting beside Maya like a proud parent. He'd bring groceries when Maya worked late, cook dinner with Zuri, chattering about her day. You're basically living here at this point, Maya observed one evening. Siwon was helping Zuri with a craft project while Maya graded kindergarten assessments. Is that a complaint? An observation. You have a penthouse in Gangnam, yet you're on my couch making paper flowers with a 5-year-old. This is better than the penthouse. The penthouse is empty. This is full. He glanced at Zuri, who was focused on gluing petals. This feels like home. Siwon, I know. We're taking it slow. I'm respecting boundaries. But Maya, I can't pretend this doesn't feel right. Being here, with both of you. It's the first time in 5 years I haven't felt hollow. Before Maya could respond, Zuri looked up. "Mr. Superman, are you going to be my daddy?" Silence. Heavy, loaded silence. "Zuri, we haven't—" Maya scrambled for words, but Siwon met Zuri's eyes seriously. "Would you want me to be? Yes, you're nice and you make mommy smile and you help with homework and you're here lots. That's what daddies do. My first daddy did those things. Then he went to heaven. But maybe you could be my new daddy?" Siwon's throat worked. "Zuri, I would be honored to be someone important in your life. But becoming your daddy is a very big decision. Your mommy and I need to talk about it first. Is that okay?" "Okay, but I want you to stay. Forever." After Zuri went to bed, Maya and Siwon sat on the couch, the weight of her question hanging between them. "I'm sorry," Maya said. "I should have warned her not to ask." "Don't apologize. She's a child processing her feelings honestly. That's healthy." He turned to face Maya. "But she raised a fair question. What are we doing? Are we dating? Building towards something permanent? Or am I just a helpful presence in your lives?" "I don't know. I'm terrified of getting this wrong, of letting Zuri get attached and then losing you. She's already lost one father. And I've already lost one family. We're both terrified. But Maya, fear can't dictate everything. At some point, we have to risk being hurt again. What if it doesn't work? What if we try this and realize we were just trauma bonding? Zuri will be devastated. What if it does work? What if we're so focused on protecting ourselves from hurt that we miss out on something real?" He took her hand. "I love Zuri. I love you. I'm saying it because you need to hear it. I'm in love with you, Maya Osei. Not because you remind me of my wife, you're nothing like her, but because you're strong, dedicated, funny, and you've built a beautiful life from tragedy. Because watching you with Zuri makes me believe in good things again." "Siwon?" "You don't have to say it back. I just needed you to know where I stand. I'm all in. Whenever you're ready." 2 weeks later, Maya's sister video called from Ghana. "Maya, tell me about this man Zuri keeps mentioning. Mr. Superman who buys her toys and makes mommy happy." Maya explained. The emergency call, the hospital, the job, how Siwon had become part of their lives. "So he's rich, saved your life, gave you a job, and is now playing daddy to Zuri? Maya, this sounds like a fairy tale. What's the catch?" "The catch is he's grieving his dead wife and daughter. The catch is, I don't know if we're real or just filling each other's voids. The catch is, I'm terrified. Are you in love with him?" "Yes, desperately, which makes it worse." "Why worse?" "Because if I'm wrong, if this falls apart, I'll survive. But Zuri won't. She's already calling him Superman. She's already imagining him as her father. If he leaves—" "Has he given any indication he's leaving?" "No, he's all in. Says he loves us, wants to build a life together. But what if he wakes up one day and realizes we're not actually his second chance, just his distraction from grief?" Her sister was quiet, then said, "Maya, you can't protect Zuri from every possible hurt. You can only teach her to be brave enough to love anyway. If this man is genuine, and it sounds like he is, then you're not being fair to him or yourself by holding back out of fear." That night, Maya made a decision. She asked Siwon to come over after Zuri was asleep. "I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest. Always. Am I a replacement? For your wife? For the family you lost? Because Siwon, if we're doing this, really doing this, I need to know we're not just ghosts of your past." He was quiet for a long moment. "When Jiyeon died, I thought my life was over. I threw myself into work because feeling nothing was better than feeling pain. Then Zuri called, and I had to be a doctor again, had to save someone. And when I saw you, sick, vulnerable, sacrificing yourself for your daughter, I saw someone worth saving, not my wife, you. But Zuri, Reminds me of what my daughter might have been, yes. But she's not my daughter. She's Zuri, her own person with her own personality. I love her for who she is, not who she represents. He cupped Maya's face. You're not replacing anyone. You're creating something new, something I didn't think I'd have again. And yes, maybe my grief opened me to this. Maybe losing my family made me appreciate yours more. But that doesn't make this less real. I'm in love with you, Maya said. I have been for months. I was just too afraid to admit it. And now? Now I'm choosing bravery over fear. For me, for Zuri, for us. She kissed him. I want this. I want you. I want us to be a family. If you're sure, I've never been more sure of anything. But 2 weeks after they officially started dating, Siwon's past came calling. His former in-laws, Ji-yeon's parents, showed up at CharmCare headquarters, furious. You're dating someone. Already. Our daughter has been dead 5 years, and you've already replaced her. I'm not replacing anyone. With a foreign woman? With a child? Are you trying to erase Ji-yeon completely? This has nothing to do with Ji-yeon. Everything you do is about our daughter. You inherited her company, you live in the home she decorated, you run her family's medical legacy. And now you're bringing strangers into it? The confrontation was public, loud, and devastating. Hospital staff whispered. Board members questioned Siwon's judgment. His grief, which he'd used to build sympathy for 5 years, was now being weaponized against his happiness. Maya heard about it through office gossip before Siwon could explain. People are saying you're dishonoring your dead wife, she told him when he came to her office. That I'm some opportunist who trapped you, that you're having a midlife crisis. I don't care what people say, but I do. Siwon, I work here. These people are my colleagues, and now they're looking at me like I'm the gold digger who seduced the grieving billionaire. Then we'll handle it together. We'll make a statement, set the record straight. Or we could just stop. Protect both of us from this mess. You go back to your perfect grieving widower image. I go back to being the charity case you helped. Don't reduce us to that. Then what are we? Really? Because from the outside, it looks exactly like what people are saying. You saved my life, gave me a job, and now we're together. How is that not problematic? Because we love each other. Because this is real. Is it? Or did we both just need someone to fill the holes our dead spouses left? The words were cruel and unfair, and Maya regretted them immediately, but Siwon's face closed off. If you really believe that, then maybe we are making a mistake. He turned to leave. Take some time. Figure out what you actually want. I'll be here when you decide. He left, and Maya felt her world cracking apart. That evening, Zuri asked the question Maya was dreading. Where's Mr. Superman? He always comes for dinner. He's busy tonight, baby. Is he mad at us? No, sweetie. Adults just sometimes need space. Like when you and Daddy used to fight? Before he went to heaven? Maya's heart broke. Not like that. Different. But Zuri was too smart to be fooled. I want Mr. Superman to come back. I miss him. I know, baby. I miss him too. Then why did you make him leave? I didn't. It's complicated. You're scared, Zuri said with 5-year-old wisdom. Like when I'm scared of the dark and you tell me to be brave. You need to be brave, Mommy. Maya was brave. She showed up at Siwon's penthouse at 11 p.m., Zuri asleep in her arms. I'm sorry, she said when he opened the door. I panicked. I let other people's opinions matter more than what I know is true. Can we talk? He let them in without a word. Maya laid Zuri on his couch, covered her with a blanket. Then she turned to face him. I was wrong. You're not replacing your wife. I'm not replacing my husband. We're building something new from our shared grief, and it's messy and complicated, but it's real. And I'm sorry I questioned that. I'm sorry too. for not preparing you for how public this would be, for not protecting you from judgment. I should have anticipated. Stop. We both got scared. But Siwon, I don't want to live in fear. Zuri told me tonight to be brave, so I'm being brave. I love you. I want this. I want us. Whatever that looks like. He crossed the distance, pulled her into his arms. I love you, both of you, and I don't care what anyone thinks. My in-laws, the board, society. None of them matter more than you. What about your wife's memory? Ji-yeon would want me to be happy. She'd want me to live, not just exist. And Maya, you make me want to live again. That's not betrayal. That's healing. They stood there, holding each other, choosing each other despite everything. The next morning, Siwon called a press conference. With Maya and Zuri beside him, he addressed the rumors directly. 5 years ago, I lost my wife and daughter. That grief nearly destroyed me. I stopped practicing medicine, stopped connecting with people, stopped living. Then 2 months ago, a 5-year-old girl accidentally called me when her mother collapsed. That call saved 3 lives, hers, her mother's, and mine. He looked at Maya. I'm not replacing my late wife. I'm honoring her memory by choosing to live fully again. Maya Osei and her daughter Zuri have given me purpose, joy, and a reason to be more than just a grieving widower running a company. I love them. I'm building a life with them. And anyone who has a problem with that is welcome to their opinion, but it won't change my decision. The response was mixed. Some criticized, some supported. But the most important voices were the ones that mattered. Siwon's former in-laws reached out privately. If she makes you happy, truly happy, then maybe it's time we all move forward. Ji-yeon wouldn't want you to mourn forever. The hospital staff saw their CEO transformed, engaged, present, passionate about the Guardian Angel initiative that was saving families like Maya's. And Zuri? Zuri got her wish. 1 year after the accidental emergency call, Siwon and Maya married in a small ceremony. Zuri was Flower Girl, proudly announcing to everyone, Mr. Superman is my daddy now, for real. At the reception, Siwon toasted, to wrong numbers that were actually right, to a brave 5-year-old who called for help, to second chances and new families, to Maya, who taught me that loving again doesn't mean forgetting, it means healing. Maya's toast, to the billionaire who responded to a child's cry for help when he didn't have to the man who saved my life and then showed me how to truly live, to building something beautiful from broken pieces. They adopted each other's losses and turned them into something whole. 2 years later, Maya gave birth to twins, a boy and girl. Zuri was ecstatic to be a big sister. Now we're a really big family, she announced at the hospital. Siwon held his newborn son, tears streaming down his face. I never thought I'd have this again, never thought I deserved it. You deserve every bit of happiness, Maya said. You saved us. Now we get to save you back. The Guardian Angel initiative expanded nationally, thousands of single parents receiving free health care because Siwon had responded to one desperate call. Zuri, now a precocious 8-year-old, wrote a school essay titled The Day I Called Superman. I didn't mean to call Mr. Superman. I just pushed buttons because I was scared. But sometimes accidents are actually meant to happen. Mommy says Mr. Superman saved her life, but I think we saved his too, because he was sad before, and now he smiles all the time. That's what families do. They save each other. From one wrong number came a right family. From one child's brave call came healing for 3 broken hearts. Scarlett Monroe was wrong. Not all accidental texts lead to love. But Zuri Osei proved that sometimes the most desperate calls reach exactly the person meant to answer. The end. Thank you for following Maya, Zuri, and Siwon's journey from an accidental emergency call to a forever family. If you love their story of healing through helping, subscribe for more. See you in the next one. Would you have been brave enough to call a stranger when someone you loved needed help? Comment below.